Hello, we're Hamptons in Transition. My name is Juliana Duryea. I'm one of the initiating members of Hamptons in Transition. We have a couple other members here. If anyone else would like to introduce themselves.
I'm Dar Riley, and I'm also part of the initiating committee. And I'd like to tell you that Huli, amongst her many other backgrounds, including biology and planning, is also a permaculture student, which has been really valuable for our group. I'm the co-founder of a group, nonprofit Women's Initiatives for a Sustainable Earth. And for those others of you in the room who have been working with us, please put your hand up here, and hope you'll have a chance to meet these other people when we get into smaller groups in a little bit.
Well, thank you. I'd like to start off with a quote, just to kind of get our minds flowing a little bit. This is from the Rig Veda. Let us be united. Let us speak in harmony. Let our minds apprehend alike. Common be our prayer. Common be the end of our assembly. Common be our resolutions. Common be our deliberations. Alike be our feelings. Unified be our hearts. Common be our intentions. Perfect be our unity. So with that, let's get this movie started.
We want to take these next precious 20 minutes to get to know you a little bit. And a couple of things I want to tell you from the outset, and that is, Huli and I are up here today because we rotate our leadership. So another day it'll be another one of us. We do have a group, and we're called Hamptons in Transition. And at any meeting there might be 4 of us, or there might be 10 or 12 of us. But we are in that first stage of gathering our community and seeing how we are interested in working together and what kind of dynamic networks we want to create. Also, on the film, you notice they talk a lot about peak oil. That is a major focus of theirs. More of a focus of ours is climate instability and how we really come together and create that resilient network. So in the face of issues that do come along, that we have established ourselves and are prepared for whatever. But it's the networking itself that's the fun part. So what we're hoping that you will all do right now is quickly get into little groups of 4 with at least one transition town person in each group. So that means if you could, if the 4 of you guys could be together, and the 4 of you could be together. In fact, we've got a little less than 20 minutes, so if you could get together quickly with 4 people, that would be great. But it would be better if we had groups of 4 and not of 6. So could you 2 come over here? And then that's our leader. First, starting with the person who is part of Hamptons in Transition, and going around from there. But the first question is, what is it that makes you really happy? What is it that you're happy about? Second question is, what could you see in a community of the future that you would love to be a part of? And 3 is, what's one kernel from this movie that just really struck you? So everybody's going to get a minute. That's a lot to pack into a very short time. But that person who is already part of transition could go first, because we've been thinking about these things for a while. Say your name and what village you're from, and then just go on around.
Can you repeat, Dora?
Okay. Number 1 is, what makes you really happy? What are you passionate about? Number 2 is, 20 years from now, transition happened. What's it like? What's an element of that town that you would love to see and be a part of? And 3 is, what's something from the movie that just caught your eye? So really brief answers. And I will be also the timekeeper. Go ahead and start.
Okay, so I guess something that I'm very passionate about, that kind of, I think that was the first thing that Dartha had said anyway, is the ocean. To be near the ocean. Being away from it, I kind of feel like lost. I think it's because when I'm at the ocean, I feel sort of a power of nature that's kind of bigger than I am, so it kind of brings me back, grounds me a little bit. And the second thing,
Or should we all do one question? Ready to knock my terrible one question, and then I'll do the second question?
Sure.
I don't know.
I already
forgot the second question.
The second question was something in the future that, the first thing is the passion, the second is the future, that you'd like to see in the future. I would like to see just food being grown everywhere. I just think that's really important.
Happy to buy it.
The third question was
What did you extract from one of those?
probably that first, the community sort of farm, the urban environment. That's something that you don't really see in many places, which I think is pretty inspiring. Getting people involved that might not otherwise be involved in the project. Pretty cool.
I started envisioning in Hamptons.
Okay, I guess I'm Melanie, and I think take your first answer as my own as well. The ocean, I think, is the most centering place for me, and I probably walk 4 out of 5 days most months on the ocean, just to ground back in, clear the head, and not think about all the stuff that you think about living out here in my life. And then
Yes,
I don't think what was the second one was not what we extracted, but a dream. I think it was I don't think I saw it in the movie, but some kind of connectivity with this village in particular regarding housing that reached out to everyone, where there's more shared. You see so many people who love in large spaces that are wasteful, and there's young people that need help, older people need help. So even though I don't think we saw that in there, just that I would like to see that maybe seem possible that we can have something like this in Sag Harbor particularly, but in the whole area.
Everybody seems to be too busy to be
We kind of covered the last two questions.
Okay. Yeah, I think I did.
I'm Francesca. The thing I'm passionate about is my granddaughter, and I really want to see her be able to live and thrive in the future and to grow up. And she's already weighted down by a sense of doom about the future, and is, passionate herself about trying to get involved in things, although she could get bored with the movies and quickly. She's only 9.
She creates from graduation.
I would like to see a lot more clustered housing in the area. I'd like to see zoning changes so there was more farmland and more cluster housing connected to farmland, so that people would be able to do more farming and gardening right where they were. And
Public area.
that was a dream. Semi-rural,
Volunteer to clean up the particular area. They will give
find
plastic
a
bags.
field to put up
And they
a
want you to
energy
actually
project
separate the
and to get
plastic bags
people,
because they're trying to do an impact study.
it'd be interesting to know if that was really possible.
Beautiful decorations of them flying in the air.
I do a lot more. I've raised kids already. I like all your stuff. I like what we're working on.
One issue that I work on, we live in a very full climate. There's a circle used and the town uses parks just to put trash containers, put people in trash containers.
It seems a paradigm to me, there aren't any jobs anywhere. Well, who has them? If so many people don't have jobs, where are they all? And why are we waiting for someone else to give them to us? So I'm very curious about how do we shift ourselves inside, and that's really, I like the lady from Healers who talked about the healing coming from knowing yourself and going
houses on it. They'll never be able to grow anything on it. It'll be a year.
Have you even had a chance to go already?
Just doing that.
And one more person.
Okay, so if you could go on and go, unfortunately, Fran kicks out here. But does anybody have anything that they would like to share about either their passions or some aspect of the movie that inspired them?
899.
Bobby? The way you lifted your head, I thought there was something on the tip of your tongue.
I wanted to talk to Pam. Well, the thing that struck me again, this is the second time I saw the film, and was the idea of local economies, whether it be the time banking or dollars that are unique to a specific area. I think that even though it might be challenging, I think that the Hamptons are would be a great thing. The local businesses are always looking for ways to sustain themselves year-round and not be only reliant on tourism, and so that seems to be a real way to keep the money local. And I it wasn't in this movie, but I recently heard of there's one town where they started using their own money, and the government there actually takes their salary in that local dollar. Every penny of their salary is paid in local dollars, and so they spend their money locally.
Well, we were talking about it in our group, just briefly, with Huli, and Emma, is Emma here? She was here a minute ago. Oh, there you are, Emma. Hey. We have started the Edibles Project, and we are soliciting businesses in Southampton. Southampton Provisions is doing it, right, Huli? For a starting point, that's right, locally, but otherwise I'm kind of focusing a little bit on the village, and we're getting people who own stores along Main Street to agree to, and we'll do it, but grow edibles in their boxes, winter boxes. That could be herbs, it could be little small vegetables mixed in with flowers appropriately, and we have a lot of support for it actually. But we are looking for people who would like to help in any way, and somehow or other we're going to have to find people who will provide or will support us with providing some of the plants at this point, as opposed to seeds, and maybe some boxes. Actually, one of the people who's doing it is Tate's. I think you probably all know Tate's, and we're going to be putting some edibles in their garden around the store, so that's really nice.
Group that, I guess we have a few, 500 or 600 people now that are building a shellfish hatchery at Conscience Point, and the idea is to create a reef that will, of oysters, that take in the algae, that take in the nitrates, that break down the nitrates back into nitrogen so that eelgrass can grow around the reefs, and so more finfish can come back in, and more other kinds of mollusks and other kinds of fish can come back in. And I guess we've been doing this for about a year now, and we have a lot of great donors and a lot of great people that are doing this, and so we'll be building again next Saturday. It's all community. It's all, it's all sort of people coming together, and it's a really good thing. So.
Great.
No, it was fantastic. How I feel about all these things. I think that's the future. That's where I like to go, and help build this as much as I can.
Your organization had a wonderful GMO presentation today.
Yeah, actually Saturday.
But you had one on the radio today.
That was
really fantastic.
Thank
you.
It was pretty good. Sure.
Which radio show?
We have an internet radio show where we talk about alternative health, and also, in this case, it was about GMO labeling in New York. We know somebody that has been doing a lot of work in trying to get New York the first state that labeled GMO. So she did a radio show today. It was international on the internet, so it was very exciting to do that. Yeah.
I said, we are so excited to have you here. We are really excited to get to know you. And we're creating another opportunity for us to get together, those of you who are new to this, 3 weeks from tonight at 5:30 in a location to be determined. So it's very important that you give us your email addresses. Also, for friends of yours that may be interested, we're doing another showing of this film in 2 months at the Rogers Memorial Library in Southampton on May 20th. So we hope you'll come to that. Does anybody have any questions?
Are you sending out an email?
We'll send it, yeah, everything. But don't leave without giving us your little thing. It's in there. Do you have any questions?
Yes. Is there an email address for all of the transition communities in the...
Yes, there is, and it's, if you could rip off on that sheet,
Not
you've got
even
there.
area, in the world.
Right here. There's
There's
United States.
Can't get any closer.
There's a United States organization and an international organization. Any other questions? And Huli is going to close us today.
This Saturday.
Anywhere from 9 o'clock in the morning to 3 o'clock in the afternoon.
Yeah.
We're building, a lot of construction is going on. Sometimes, yeah, during the summer, right now, like tomorrow, I'll go to, we have right out of something from college.
Okay, everyone. Thank you. Thank you. I just have a closing for us this evening. Another poem I'd like to share with you. It's actually from a book of prayers that are called Earth Prayers. So just a reference as to where these are coming from. This is by M.J. Slim Hui. I have come to turn... Oh, sorry, wrong one. This is by William Ellery Channing. To live content with small means to seek elegance rather than luxury, and refinement rather than fashion. To be worthy, not respectable, and wealthy, not rich. To study hard, think quietly, talk gently, act frankly. To listen to the stars and birds, babes and sages, with open heart. To bear all cheerfully, do all bravely, await occasions, hurry never. In a word, to let the spiritual unbidden and unconscious grow up through the common. This is to be my symphony.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So again, thank you all for joining us.